XFM News on point.
The news on XFM. I'm Chris or Tim. Civil society organizations under the Coalition on Girls Empowerment have asked government to ensure a conducive learning environment for pregnant girls in school. Some learners conceived during the COVID-19 lockdown and girls' rights activists insist that this should not be a reason for them to drop out of school. The coordinator of the coalition, Elliot Orizarwa, says that expectant teenage mothers need to study in an environment which is free from stigma and discrimination from students and teachers. Elliot adds that the Ministry of Education should plan for pregnant girls to ensure they do not drop out of school.
We are taking action, and the action we are taking on is to see these policies having issues of understanding that at a certain time a girl is going to be pregnant and this girl has to be in class. So if you are looking at 3 classrooms, it means that at a certain time you need the 4th classroom where these girls have to be there, be safe, do their exams and go back and give birth. I am not saying that girls should get pregnant, but if these girls have gotten pregnant before marriage, let us as a government, as policy makers, make sure that these things are planned for and are budgeted for.
The ruling party, National Resistance Movement, has vowed to expel members who defied the party rules and were nominated as independents to contest in the general elections. Last week, many of the NRM members were nominated alongside the party flag bearers despite having participated and lost in the party primaries. The party's Secretary General, Kasule Lumumba, says a committee has been appointed to meet the independent candidates starting next week before taking disciplinary action.
I've seen ministers being nominated as independents, chairpersons of NRM of districts being nominated as independents. In the code of conduct for the NRM party, you are supposed to support party decision. And if you go against the party decision in this case, it is supporting the flag bearer, the person who the majority voted. So in case you go against that, you've gone against the party decision. And you are supposed to be expelled from the party. But it's supposed to be a process.
Meanwhile, the NRM has received a certificate from the Electoral Commission confirming the fulfillment requirements for the party's presidential flag bearer, Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, to be nominated. Lumumba says their candidate will be nominated on the 2nd of November at 10 a.m.
We received the certificate of having fulfilled the requirement for somebody to be nominated for the presidential race. So we have the certificate. So we are set as a party NRM for this on the 2nd of November to present our presidential candidate, Yoweri Kaguta T. Museveni. So as
the Chief Justice, Alfonso Winyidolo, wants Parliament to pass the HIV and AIDS Prevention and Control Bill to fight the spread of the epidemic. He made the call to Parliament in his message read by the Chief Register, Sarah Langa, while presiding over as the chief guest during the 30th Philip Bongole Lutaya Memorial Lecture held at the President's office in Kampala over the weekend. He says that HIV can only be eliminated through making laws protecting human rights and promoting health care.
The call to Parliament is that they should enact and review the laws that will improve the well-being of the society, especially the people living with HIV/AIDS. The HIV and AIDS Prevention and Control Act of 2014 may need to be reviewed. In conclusion, the government should also provide conducive enabling environment and access to HIV services to all the people living with HIV in Uganda during and post-COVID-19. HIV services should be freely accessible to promote health at all times.
And world news, Italy has announced a new raft of measures to tighten restrictions amid a surge in coronavirus cases. A mask-wearing Prime Minister Giuseppe Conte said the measures were needed to avoid a new lockdown. Mayors will get powers to close public areas after 9 p.m. local time, and the opening times of restaurants and the size of groups allowed will tighten. The moves come as Italy recorded its highest daily infection rate for the second day in a row. Another 11,705 new cases were announced on Sunday, beating the previous record, which came a day earlier on Saturday, of 10,925. Now in sports, Liverpool's centre-back Virgil van Dijk wants to return stronger after learning He needs a surgery on the knee injury he sustained in the 2-2 draw at Everton. The 29-year-old Netherlands defender was unable to continue following a challenge by the Toffees goalkeeper Jordan Pickford in the first half on Saturday. It is unclear how long the anterior cruciate ligament, also referred to as ACL injury, will keep him out for. And that's the latest XFM News.
XFM News on point.